The galactic graveyard. The mysterious mass extinction in the Virgo cluster. In a revelation that has left astronomers both fascinated and deeply unsettled, researchers have observed a phenomenon that could best be described as a cosmic-scale extinction event. Something, some force, some process, is quietly, methodically killing entire galaxies within the Virgo cluster, a massive, relatively young collection of galaxies just 55 million light-years from Earth. The galaxies aren't exploding or colliding in spectacular fashion. Instead, they're fading, withering, and dying, not unlike a living organism succumbing to disease. It's a galaxy-scale die-off, and scientists are scrambling to understand what exactly is draining the life force from these majestic star systems. But the more they look, the clearer it becomes. This isn't an isolated event. It may be a cosmic pattern, a profound process that shapes galaxies, clusters, and maybe the very fabric of the universe itself. Virgo cluster, a cosmic keystone. To understand the magnitude of this event, we must first understand the Virgo cluster's role in the cosmos. Situated within the constellation Virgo, this cluster contains more than 1,300 confirmed galaxies, possibly even up to 2,000. It forms the gravitational heart of the Virgo supercluster, of which our local group, home to the Milky Way, is also a part. What makes the Virgo cluster so pivotal is not just its size, but its youth. Unlike ancient galactic groupings that have long since stabilized, Virgo is still forming, its galaxies still being pulled into place by gravity. That instability makes it an ideal laboratory for astronomers, and also possibly a reason why it's so vulnerable. In recent years, observations have revealed something strange and alarming. Many galaxies within this vibrant cluster are losing their ability to form stars. They are being stripped of their life-giving gases, the cold hydrogen and dust that fuels stellar birth. Without these, a galaxy can no longer forge new stars and slowly enters a state of galactic senescence. A slow death. Galaxies can die, but how? What could cause such a massive and coordinated decline in star formation across so many galaxies? The culprit appears to be a process called ram pressure stripping. As galaxies hurtle through the hot, dense intergalactic medium that fills the Virgo cluster, they experience a kind of cosmic wind. This wind, superheated plasma left over from ancient stellar explosions and cluster interactions, exerts pressure on the galaxies, pushing out their internal gas reservoirs. Imagine driving a convertible at high speed and having the wind strip away your belongings. Now scale that up to the size of galaxies, and you begin to understand the violence of the stripping process. Without gas, no new stars can form. The galaxy begins a slow decline into darkness. The process is especially brutal in areas where the intracluster medium is densest, often near the center of the cluster, where gravitational interactions are most intense. This is why we see particularly dramatic examples like NGC 4654, which shows a visible gas tail being pulled away from the galaxy, or NGC 4388, where star formation continues only in the regions where gas is still being pulled. These aren't isolated anomalies. They are part of a pattern, a mass extinction, not of stars or planets, but of entire galaxies. Virgo, a cosmic battleground. What makes this extinction even more fascinating is that it appears to be linked to intergalactic relationships, a complex web of gravitational tugs, plasma flows, and energy exchanges that make galaxies not passive islands in space, but active players in a cosmic ecosystem. In Virgo, older, more massive galaxies may be indirectly starving younger, more gas-rich galaxies by creating intense gravitational and thermal conditions. When galaxies fall into the cluster from the surrounding void, they are confronted with these harsh environments, and many do not survive the transition. This process may be exacerbated by the cluster's ongoing formation, which brings fresh galaxies into the cluster at high speeds, accelerating the stripping process. Virgo is not yet in dynamic equilibrium, making it more susceptible to these violent processes. In essence, the Virgo cluster is a battlefield, not of fire and destruction, but of attrition, exhaustion, and imbalance. A cosmic jungle where only the most robust systems can survive. The cosmic virus hypothesis. Some researchers have even drawn a dramatic analogy. What we're witnessing may be akin to a cosmic virus, an unseen process infecting and extinguishing galaxies en masse. While not a literal virus, the comparison highlights how widespread, patterned, and non-random these extinctions appear. Could this be part of a larger pattern across the universe? If something as vast and complex as the Virgo cluster can experience this kind of systemic decline, are other clusters, even entire superclusters, subject to the same fate? And could this pattern scale up even further? The universe as ecosystem. Let's take a step back and imagine the universe as a self-regulating ecosystem, an unimaginably vast network of stars, planets, gas clouds, and dark matter. Each component affects others, just as species within a forest influence their neighbors. In this metaphor, galaxies are species and clusters are biomes. Star formation, black hole growth, gas flows. These are the processes of reproduction, consumption, and nutrient cycling. When a system like the Virgo cluster undergoes dramatic change, it's not unlike a rainforest suffering from deforestation or oceanic coral reefs succumbing to bleaching. Balance, or its absence, is key. Dark matter and dark energy, still poorly understood, may be the climate systems of this cosmic ecosystem, regulating structure and movement on grand scales. A local imbalance in these forces could cause effects that ripple outward or inward, for billions of years and across billions of light-years.
Could the mass death of galaxies in the Virgo cluster be part of a grander rebalancing, a multiversal nightmare? The speculation doesn't stop with this universe. Some theoretical physicists have suggested that we may live in a multiverse, a collection of parallel or bubble universes, each with its own physical laws and cosmic history. In this context, galaxy clusters may not just be victims of internal forces, but pawns in a much larger cosmic balance. What if our universe is interacting, gravitationally or through some unknown mechanism, with a neighboring universe? Could such a universe, out of balance, draw energy away from ours, slowly starving us of cosmic fuel? It's speculative, but not entirely without precedent. Quantum theory allows for energy fluctuations on scales we can barely comprehend. The idea that entire universes could feed off one another is terrifying, but not completely unscientific. After all, on Earth, predation and consumption are as much a part of life as reproduction and cooperation. Could the universe, or multiverse, be the ultimate ecosystem, and we just haven't realized our place within it? The bigger picture, cosmic humility. When we look at events like the galactic die-off in the Virgo cluster, we are reminded of one humbling truth. We are not the masters of the cosmos. Our Milky Way is still relatively healthy, full of star-forming gas and stable structures. But we are not immune. Should our galaxy one day be caught in the gravitational snare of a larger, denser cluster, or should the cosmic climate shift, we could find ourselves facing a similar fate. As scientists continue to monitor and model the processes at work in Virgo, they also gain new insights into the fragile balance of all cosmic structures. What happens there could reflect what once happened, or could one day happen here. From galaxies to humans, the fractal of life. Ultimately, the death of galaxies echoes a truth we've long observed on Earth. Systems must adapt, balance, or die. What happens on a galactic scale mirrors patterns we know from biology, ecology, and even human civilization. From atoms to planets, galaxies to universes, the cosmos operates through a complex interplay of creation and destruction, expansion and collapse, life and death. We may be small, but we are part of this incredible dance. And perhaps, just perhaps, understanding how galaxies die may help us learn how to live better. Subscribe for more journeys into the mysteries of the cosmos, because the universe is not just out there, it's also within us.